It's
I'm not sure what that means.
what does that mean?
I don't know. Welcome to Kids Hurt 2. This is Kids Hurt 2 Hawaii's live Facebook series called Inside Times, coming to you at 2 p.m. on Wednesdays. It is called Inside Times because these are times when we live inside. These are not your inside times, these are our inside times. This educational series explores what these inside times might mean to children and families. There are always going to be inside times. Usually it's one person at a time in the family. A long illness, surgery, a broken bone, depression, whatever the reason, you are left recovering, yet now recovery is the whole world, for the whole world. And while you recover, the world hums along, but now there is no hum because we are all inside at the same time. We are apart together. What is going on inside your home, inside yourself? How does the inside you and the inside of your home connect? Do you treat yourself the same way you treat your home? These are all questions we can explore together. Educational presentations aim to inform and educate. Education is empowerment, and we need empowerment in uncertain times like this. My name is Cynthia White.
My name is Hiro. I'll be just listening to you today. Right?
We are co-founders of Kids Hurt 2 Hawaii, and I am the training coordinator. As a specialist in children's grief and trauma, I want to share with you what I have learned over 37 years of working with grieving and traumatized children. I want you to know what the research tells us about the impact on children. This series will cover a different topic during each presentation. I am new to Facebook, as you can tell. I started my own Facebook page late last year, and I think I may have posted 4 times.
Maybe a little more.
I don't think so, but maybe.
Okay.
So I apologize if you experience problems with this live post. I am still learning. I'm not even sure it's working right now. So
I think it's
send me a
working.
message if you are able to see this and make a comment. We'd love to hear from you. I'm happy to invite your questions and your comments. I will try to answer your questions and share your comments during the post. Also, please suggest topics that interest you in the coming weeks. And I had hoped to share messages from our facilitators and families today, but I don't have the capacity to do that at this time. I'm still learning. And I thank you to those families and facilitators who sent messages to be shared.
Hi, Tina.
I hope to include them next time once I'm able to do that. So once I figure it all out. So this is all new. So for this first program, the focus is on anxiety and stress in uncertain times. Things that we worry about cause us stress and anxiety. We here at Kids Hurt 2 Hawaii know that you are worried. We are all worried. And if you are worried, your children are worried. More than likely, you strive to protect your children from your worries. But if you're worried, they feel your insides. They feel what is inside of you, and they will be worried too. And it's hard not to worry these days, especially when there is so much uncertainty. There are minor worries, like, do I have enough toilet paper? Maybe,
We do.
maybe not.
Maybe not.
Hope so. And there are major worries like health. I worry because my husband, Hiro, lost a filling in his tooth and has a toothache. So I worry, should he go to the dentist? Is it safe to go to the dentist? Do we have to
I don't know.
wait? You know, it's like, do we have to wait until it's an emergency? I don't know. I worry. I worry about my mother who has cancer. She lives with us and I take care of her. We take care of her. And her health is very fragile. So I worry, is she going to have the medication she needs? Anytime she has a symptom, I tend to panic. And is this something that she should see a doctor over? Is this something we can take care of at home? I don't always know. So we kind of write it out and hope for the best. And she does seem to be holding up pretty well. I'm very proud of her. So the anxiety and worry I am experiencing at this time have made me hypersensitive.
No wonder you've been like a lot of times.
I find it hard to cope with other stressors like forgetting things. And then anxiety makes me more forgetful. And how is anxiety impacting you right now? Please share your thoughts. I see Tina's here. Thank you, Tina. She says, I'm doing okay.
Michelle first.
Michelle says it's working. The Facebook post is actually working. Thank you. It's good to know.
Some people
Hi,
from Japan.
Kanani. Good to see you. You're welcome. Thank you for commenting.
Some people
There's
from Japan.
Motoshi. There we go.
Japan too, yeah.
Nice, like,
Hi, Motoshi-san.
yeah.
元気ですか?
Yeah.
Ishida-san too.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
One of the comments said she was so happy to see your face.
Oh.
Almost crying.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I miss you guys. It's good to be able to contribute in some small way.
Hey, from Hiroshima, Chikako-san.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, at this time, it would be normal to have anxiety attacks, especially for those impacted by trauma and loss. But anxiety attacks are not always what you think. They're not always hyperventilating or rocking back and forth. I think we all have an assumed idea of what an anxiety attack looks like. There are other forms that anxiety attacks take, and I'm going to talk a little bit about those to help you understand how you might be impacted, to help you understand how children are impacted. So one example would be that there are unpredictable bouts of rage and irritability. You think, well, where did that come from? Why are they so upset? Nothing hardly happened, especially with children. Even the smallest thing can cause intense irritability or rage. Mm-hmm. So that's anxiety manifesting in behaviors. Anxiety attacks can look like nitpickiness. I tend to get very nitpicky when I'm anxious. Yeah, you should know.
Right. There's a reason for it.
There is. It's anxiety. Hypersensitivity to disarray, chaos, or any sort of change. And goodness knows we are going through a lot of changes right now. And so we're all probably hypersensitive. And that is a form of expressed anxiety. Sometimes anxiety looks like fast talking, stuttering, or stumbling over words, trying to figure out what was that? You know, I'm not trying to understand or communicate something and I can't. And that can be a consequence of anxiety. Not talking at all. And that's kind of a worrisome one because, you know, typically you might be a talker and then you're really quiet, or your children are quiet, they isolate, they want to be left alone. That could mean that they're feeling really anxious. So be aware of that. And sitting rigid, staring into space, seeming to zone out could also be another form of an anxiety attack. So these aren't the ways we typically understand anxiety. But it helps to understand the way you or your children's anxiety shows up. So to know some of these symptoms and to recognize these symptoms. Understanding decreases the stigma associated with anxiety that is often seen as bad or difficult behavior. So if we think our children are behaving badly or being difficult, it's probably because they're anxious.
Right.
If you're behaving badly or being difficult,
That is anxious too,
it's
huh?
probably because you're anxious too.
Mhm.
So be aware of that. And when you don't place blame on yourself or on your children or others for their anxiety induced behaviors, you are able to calm yourself or others down more quickly. So
Breathing.
calming down gets you out of the state of anxiety. So now it's getting hot.
See, can I open
Yes,
the
you can
window?
open the window.
Oh, yeah.
It gets a little noisy out there, so if you hear the bus, I apologize.
Okay.
So be sure to make comments and ask questions. I see any
Isha,
questions.
hi
Yes.
Isha, and
Yeah.
Belinda
Oh,
from
hi.
Kentucky.
My sister's watching. That's nice. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer your questions now. It's a good time to get those questions answered. If you just tuned in, the topic today is anxiety and stress in uncertain times. This program is called Inside Times
Inside
because we're all living inside.
Not inside out.
Inside, yeah, I wouldn't
Inside
call it
Time.
Inside Out, but that's a trademark name for a movie, which if you haven't watched, it's a lot of fun.
Inside
But
Time.
Inside Times is really where we're at. We're on the inside, looking out, trying to stay well, trying to stay safe and keep each other safe. So let's talk now about ways to calm yourself or to calm your children. There are some really simple things that you can do at home. Breathe.
Breathing.
Yes, of course, we're all breathing now, but no, this is a very specific breathing pattern that is known through studies to calm down the stress response system. It's a deep inhale and a very slow exhale. The slowest exhale is talking, singing, humming. So you can also just very slowly blow bubbles. We teach children how to blow bubbles, or you get those dandelions, you go, and the little dandelions float everywhere. So find time to just take a few deep breaths and exhale very slowly. Sing together.
Sing together.
So
Can I play ukulele?
everybody is
No? Okay.
breathing this way, inhaling deeply, exhaling very slowly. Another very effective tool for calming yourself and others is yoga. So hopefully you have had a chance to watch our Kids for Two Hawaii Executive Director, Tanya Wildville, teaching imagination yoga.
Right.
She teaches
Twice
that on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock?
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
to 30 minutes, about 30 minutes.
And studies have found that yoga is more effective for relieving post-traumatic stress than medication.
Oh.
It does work. It is very powerful. Another calming tool would be writing in a journal. It helps to bring what is on the inside to the outside. When you came to Kids Hurt 2 Hawaii support groups, you were able to share what was on the inside, the difficulties you were having with other parents or adults or teens or children that are going through a similar thing. That helped you get what's on the inside outside. And so now we can't really be together in that way. We can't share as much as we did. And so you have to find another way to get out what's on the inside. And journaling is an effective way of doing that. Fun activities. Do something fun together. Help each other laugh. Play games. Be silly. Children naturally play. As a matter of fact, when they are struggling to cope with the impact of loss and trauma, children show an urgency to play. I have to play. And it is their natural way to heal. So scientists found that it takes approximately 400 repetitions to create a new synapse in the brain, unless it's done with play. If it's done with play, it only takes between 10 and 20 repetitions to create a new synapse. And we know that trauma disrupts brain development, and now we know that play restores brain development.
Question.
Okay.
But they cannot play outside though.
So you got to find those inside games, board games, card games.
Quote, activity.
There
But
you
that's
go.
outside. That's outside.
Well, yeah, you'd probably
on
have
the
to
top
sit
of
out on the
garbage
steps
can.
and do that, or so you don't get dust all over
Or
the house.
be journal.
Well,
another
you
activity.
can be journaling.
Yeah.
So craft activities can be fun.
Yeah.
They're a form of play, a creative form, an imaginative form. Play typically engages the imagination, which is what we want to see happen with children. We know that they're calm when they can be imaginative. When you're anxious, you can't be imaginative, or it's harder to be imaginative. It shuts that part of the brain down, and it just puts you in survival mode. So we really want to help people, and children especially, to be calm. So playing is an important one.
Play music. Yeah, play ukulele.
It's got the word play in it.
Yeah, play ukulele.
Play.
You can do it inside, but quietly.
True.
Yeah. Right. And then you can sing too, or you can hum.
Well, singing
with music,
does both. It's playful, and it also is calming through the breath, the use of breath.
What else? Playing.
Thank you.
Playing.
Hi, Isha.
Aisha.
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 Said it wrong. Oh, sorry. Okay. Final one here for calming anxiety, meditation. You probably knew that. And not everybody is a meditator. I actually think I'm going to have to start. I've always wanted to. I have in the past, and it was very powerful and effective for me. But I haven't lately, but given the stress I feel from all this happening and these inside times, I may have to pick up meditation.
For me, just walking, meditation is kind of difficult. I cannot sit still sometimes. So I learned from a Buddhist monk, like walking meditation.
Yeah.
So I try to do it with my dog, two poochies.
We can walk our dogs.
Unless, I have to.
So walking meditation could be very effective. Thank you.
If you can, go outside. But I think you have to wear masks here nowadays. Yeah, so safety comes first.
Yeah, safety comes first. And I think we're all hyper aware of the need to be safe and, safety. Be safe.
Right.
So you might notice one thing that all these activities have in common. They require you to focus on yourself. That's right. And that's something especially women often have a hard time doing, is focusing on yourself. But it's very important to do.
The woman's difficult. I said the guys are difficult.
Well, it could be. So. It might be hard for you. No, I don't think it's hard. You can focus on yourself. You don't have a problem with that.
Oh, really?
I'm learning from you, and I appreciate
You mean
that.
Self-centered,
No, I don't mean that at all. Okay. I mean turning your focus inward and really noticing what's inside. Really focusing on what's inside. Right. Yeah, it is hard.
How you do that?
It is hard.
How you do that?
I'll talk about that.
Okay.
Over the many years of working in the field of grief and trauma, I learned that the work is emotionally exhausting. We are emotionally exhausted by this current circumstances, not to mention our histories of grief and trauma. All of that combined is emotionally exhausting. I also learned the importance of resting my emotions. When your body's tired, you sit down or you lie down and you rest your body. When your mind is tired, you watch TV, take a walk, or just focus on something different, and that rests your mind. But often we don't know how to rest our emotions. And so we just stay in this constant state of emotional exhaustion, focusing on everybody's needs, especially when you have children. It's really hard to not focus on their needs and to focus on your own. And so we're all continuously being in the state of emotional exhaustion. But I have found that there is a way to rest your emotions. It's a very simple thing to do, but you do need to practice, because if you haven't been doing it, you're probably going to be a little rusty. And that is focus on yourself. Simple, doesn't require a doctor, no medication. Just turn your focus inward to the insides of you. What's on the inside? How are you coping with this difficult time that we're all experiencing together? Just turn your focus inward. Turn your energy, your attention, your thoughts to your insides. What's on the inside? What are you feeling? When you do that, even if you did it for 5 minutes, it rests your emotions, which then gives you more emotional availability to others. And when others see that you're calmer, that your emotions are rested, then they're going to be calm too. They're going to be rested too. Any questions about any of this so far? I hope that I can see everybody's questions.
Can I? Oh yeah, you can though, but no question.
Likes your post.
That's a June. Hey June.
Okay.
June-san. Hey June.
Hi.
From Japan.
Okay. Well, the most profound thing you can offer your children is your own healing. Check in with your insides. Are you calm or anxious? If you notice that you are anxious, then start with yourself, working to bring more calmness to yourself. When you focus on calming yourself, your children will benefit. Mm-hmm. Children learn how to regulate their emotions through co-regulation. The better we can soothe them when they are agitated or support them when they are low, the better they absorb how to do this for themselves. Co-regulation is about how we impact each other, how one person's mood might affect another person's mood, how somebody else's mood will affect our mood. We co-regulate. We're constantly co-regulating. So to work first on ourselves, taking care of ourselves, calming ourselves, doing things that help us cope with anxiety and stress is going to teach your children and others in your family how to calm themselves, how to care for themselves when they're anxious and stressed. They will learn by watching you. Children learn most through observation. When they observe you practicing calming behaviors, they will learn how to calm themselves too. Yeah. So thank you for tuning in to this live Kids Hurt 2 Hawaii Facebook series called Inside Times. If you just tuned in, this program will be available on the Kids Hurt 2 Hawaii Facebook page. Today's topic was anxiety and stress in uncertain times. Next week, I will present on the impact of trauma on the body. And I look forward to your questions and comments next week too, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Until then, stay calm.
No question.
We will get through these inside times. Thank you for listening. Aloha.
Thank you, everybody. Did you answer any question?
Were there any questions?
No.
I didn't see any questions.
Yeah.
Is there anything over here? No.